arrive a little early. Hey, how's it going?
I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it. We're all set. It's in
Okay.
there. I don't know if I have all the details in there, but I took the image and put it on there and then just the
Okay.
main stuff.
Sorry, it was kind of late.
No, it's all right. I have stuff for you too.
Yes, reimburse you for.
Well, it's not only that, but here was that Amazon order you asked for the printout of the invoice.
Okay, perfect.
Here is, we kept these separate. This is for the banners.
Okay,
I mean, if you just wanna do one check, that's fine, but I didn't know for your purposes, if
Okay.
it was easier to do it this way. And then here's the water stuff.
okay. Thank you.
Hi Erica.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Trying to help Becky get on
And Joe,
Facebook
while we're waiting,
Live. She's unfriended me and friended me 3 times.
here are January student emails.
She's so cute, I love her.
November 7th student
Your hair
email.
looks cute.
Oh,
October student of the
thanks.
month, August, September, there's 27 in each of those. And basically what's in each one here, I'll show you.
Let's see how she does.
She can't get on just through Facebook, like on our page?
Is we,
Well, she
Maybe.
doesn't know how to do it.
so they can
That's the
Oh.
problem.
bring this to the door, we can do it for this month.
She hasn't mastered
May,
Facebook
whatever
yet.
month they wanna do it.
That's the problem.
So, however.
She's
everyone
okay.
Yeah,
had asked
she's
me
brand
if
new.
they had free
Oh, yeah?
passes
Yeah, brand new.
for
Yeah, she just started.
that they were gonna give away next, Friday for the 6th grade team. So that's one per team for the 6th grade. So I thought that was a brilliant idea, so we decided that we would do 3 of these per month. So there's 9 per grade. Okay. For each one, and the other grades didn't ask for them, but I made them for, okay, if they wanna use them for that. And then if you want, we get 2 extra. You can have whatever you want. And if we need more, we can do more, but, you know, the idea is they can use these for not just this March one, they can use it for other ones, so dole them out as you want, but I can always bring out more. Awesome, thank you.
How are you doing on the 8th week committee? Do you need help or do you have enough help?
I haven't looked at it this week, but last week we had a lot of people sign up.
Okay.
And then I know Ray's wife is gonna help with, I can't
Dance.
remember if it was the picnic or the dance.
Dance.
And then, Miss Casey, who's actually one of our board members, she's gonna help with the picnic, like be the lead.
Okay,
And then, but there was a lot of people that signed up.
okay,
That's great.
okay, that is
So,
great. I
um,
didn't sign up because I figure if people
Yeah.
wanna help, but if you do need help,
But I will let you, we have a lot of people signed up, I know just skimming through it, some of them were like, you know, we'll help with donations, some of them wanted to be hands-on, and
okay.
so, yeah, that's,
Are you gonna sort all that out, Joe, and then give
Yeah,
it to
so
the
what I
committee
usually
leads,
have
or?
done in the past is, because on the form I asked if it's okay to share the contact
Mhm.
info. So I'll email the leaders
Okay.
all the info and then let them just start planning meetings and stuff. And I just asked that they include me in the meetings and then I can help guide or
Cool.
whatnot, so.
Right. That's excellent.
Usually the biggest thing is around food and, you know, what food we're allowed to have or not have, that type of thing.
Is the list still in play? 'Cause that list is
Yeah, but I think
hard
we're,
these days.
yeah, I think it's a little bit looser than what it was.
Yeah, that's good, because that list used to be very, very specific,
Mhm.
and with today's supply chain stuff,
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself when we did the last Warrior, and I'm like, well, we got something from the
So I
list,
really
but it's not
think,
like we
like-
have multiples from it,
Like
so.
having pizza now, I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal, I think, and I've always been like this, like, if we know of a student who has some dietary needs,
Mhm.
just let us know,
Right.
we'll
We'll
go get
accommodate.
the right type of hot dog bun.
Or
an
whatever.
Alternative
Yeah.
item.
Mhm. Yeah.
Cool. Well, Julie Catherine said that if she was gonna take on the dance committee, you're more than welcome to help her.
Sexual lines.
I just like if, you know, because I do help a lot and sometimes, you know,
Same way.
this is their only thing that they want to do.
Yeah.
So I don't wanna take somebody's spot, but if
And it's good to get other people involved.
Absolutely,
questions I had.
absolutely,
Yeah.
but if you're short,
If you knew.
I have no
We
problem.
had an international
helping.
transaction fee.
So,
Any idea what that might have been out?
Just let me
Otherwise, I'm
know.
gonna have to
Thank you.
I
call
don't
them and
know.
see, I mean, not like it's that much, but I'm just like,
Huh.
what would that,
And when was the
Before.
date?
2/14. So it would've been like, what, the Monday after Warrior Night?
Maybe Kahoot? Could that have
Possible.
been considered international?
Might
I'd have
be.
to look at the receipt, that's the only thing I can think of.
I've got it with me,
Cause
so I'll look at that.
Amazon, Costco.
Yeah. Everything else is in there.
Yeah, maybe Kahoot. Hey Joe, do you know, is Kahoot out of Canada?
I don't know.
Now that you're saying that might be.
Why does that
That
seem?
seems to ring a bell,
Yeah.
So that could be then, it maybe. Do you remember spending 170 on something? It said just miscellaneous debit, so there's no information on like anything it
170
went to.
even?
Yeah.
Was that getting cash boxes?
Did I, you know what? That's probably the extra that I got out. Thank you.
Yeah, because now they don't have you do slips, it's all through the debit and whatever, so maybe that's what it.
Yes, and then Cheddar Up, this one that came through for 165. It was
With
right.
deposit.
It was right before the one for the Wolves game.
So that would have been the Warrior Night. That would have been the pre-sales for the Warrior Night.
Okay, that's what I.
Sorry, and when I sent that over,
Did
I
I
think we were
email-
sitting at that meeting, and I said, oh, I forgot to tag it,
Yes.
what it was from, so. And I'll send over the Wolf stuff, I just wanted to let the last charges run through,
Yeah,
and then push it through, so.
well, some of that came through, is there more then for the Wolves? Some of it already came into the account.
I'll have to look and see. Or was that the charge?
Oh, of it going out to the.
Yes, going out to the
okay.
Wolves, I think that's what it was.
Gotcha. then
So, we're a little
I
off there.
A little off on my report
That's all right.
then, yeah.
No big deal. We'll get it sorted out. I had asked them, I did the payment over the phone with them and then told them, just make sure you send me a receipt, and they didn't do it. And I said, or I put it in with my tickets, and then I can bring them back, with you. And she said, I'll do both. Okay. Well, I haven't seen the email yet, so, yeah.
This is, just 11 cash from.
Oh,
So
Got
I
it.
didn't know
Thank
what
you.
to do with it, or
Warrior
how
Night.
you wanna track it, it's from Warrior Night. Oh. The student that,
it's an additional.
That one that didn't pay?
yeah,
Mhm.
Okay,
so, I was, yeah,
okay. And the amount for Warrior Night is just a little off because I didn't recount the cash box tonight. I was doing everything last minute, and I know there was an extra, at least like probably $30 or something,
Okay.
but it's not, not a big deal.
It's always better to have extra that turns up like this
Yeah.
than the other way around.
yeah.
All right, we'll give it, we got 2 more minutes, so people that are online, we'll just wait just another minute or two. Let's see, how many people do we have
Determined to not
on?
walk in as it was starting late today. I gotta leave it early.
This is my third time here today,
I don't see the numbers here.
and then now,
How long does volleyball go for?
next week is this last week.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah, cause wrestling's done, so I'm like, oh. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, the people that, like sectionals are this weekend, and then I think state is next weekend, so
Right.
they're still going, but.
For wrestling, yeah.
What's that?
For wrestling?
Yeah.
It's exciting.
We got 15 going to sectionals.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That's
That's-
crazy.
And how many kids do they have?
For regionals, you're allowed to enter 2 per weight class, so that could be up to 38. I don't think we had 38.
So that's almost like half the kids made sectionals, that's pretty good.
That's
But-
really good.
Maybe near, I would say 25 to 30.
Our,
Yeah,
normally we have like 60-some wrestlers overall. This year we are only in the 40s.
okay.
So we probably didn't have enough to have 2 kids per weight class. But yeah, 15 is a good number, and hopefully we can get at least half of them downstate.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Very exciting time for AUGS.
Yeah.
Volleyball, the 8th graders are doing
Yeah,
awesome.
8 years or.
How'd they do at the tournament last weekend?
Yeah.
They won,
They did it?
Yeah.
Nice.
not my team.
It's just
Oh.
fun having all the activities going.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the lake.
In
we're gonna-
person.
I saw that on the light up board there. So, yeah, lots of stuff going on. This is great.
Lots of excitement.
All right, we're at 7 o'clock. We're gonna get started. We're already live on there. So thank you, everyone who is joining us in person or online. We'll go ahead and get started. In theory, we will. All right, we're gonna do our call to order, which we're calling this to order right now. We're gonna look at the minutes and just make a motion to approve those. Those have been out for a while. Julie had posted those on Facebook already for us. Do a quick treasurer's report, then we're gonna do some quick updates on some things, mostly on some of the grants that we've talked about in the past. There's no new grants this time, but we'll talk about some of the existing ones. And then we're gonna deep dive a little bit, talk a little bit more about the Warrior Nights, how that last one went, and the future of those. And then we've got a few other deep dive things going on. We'll have discussion a little bit later on for staff appreciation. So if you're a staff member and you're on and you wanna log off at that time, we kinda saved it towards the end for there as well. And then we'll have the chance for open discussion about other things, and then talk about next steps and conclusion. And I want to talk a little bit about things we've got coming up in the next couple months when we go to that as well. So we'll skip past the purpose and the mission. I think we cover this every meeting, so I don't want to bore anyone with this. It's also on the website if you have questions. The last minute meetings, which is not the image, I didn't change the picture on this, it's the same one since November, but they've been posted on Facebook, they're on the website as well. Hopefully you've had a chance to take a look at them. Julie does a fantastic job of taking notes for these and providing the minutes, much more detailed than I ever would put into it. Anyone have any objections with it? If not, we'll just go ahead and make a motion to approve. I see a hand up. Anyone denying, or doesn't want to approve it, I should say. I'm not seeing any hands up, and I'm putting my hand down. So we're going to go ahead and consider those approved, and we can move on from there. Treasurer's report. Oh, I thought I deleted the profit in, profit out. I left those blank. But Erica, do you kind of want to give us a summary of the treasurer's report?
Sure, we had, going out this month, a little over $2,000. That was for a lot of supplies for the Warrior Night, ping pong supplies. We bought speakers and mics, for the concessions. We had to pay a fee to have Kahoot. And then, I already bought some of the concessions for the next, Warrior Night, so all those are in there. Money coming in, we had from the Warrior Night for ticket sales, and then some for the Wolves game. So the ending balance doesn't include money that's in our cash boxes yet from Warrior Night Out, and the total in those was $2,361.25. So we actually have a little over 11,000 to deal with. That's available to us. The profit from the ticket sales for Warrior Night was about $960. I think it's actually $955 because I had one incorrect data. And then for concessions, we had about $440 in profit. So total about $1,400 from the one night. That's
Wow.
fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate that, and we'll get some of these other things moving over. I know the Wolves game, I've got to credit the payment for that and get that in there, and we'll get that taken care of. All right, grant requests. We're going to talk about this real quick. There's a few updates on some of these grant requests. One of the grant requests we had last time was the Tinker Club, and I reached out to Mr. Oswald on this. He said he was very thankful and said he would basically get back to me after we asked him, hey, can you try to find some of the stuff that maybe we can get on Amazon? We can purchase it and send back to you. I haven't heard back from him. As I was pulling these slides together, I realized it's been, maybe about 2 weeks or so since I heard back from him. So maybe I'll follow up back with him and just see if there was any movement on there or not. So as far as I know, this one's out there and still gonna happen, but we just haven't done it yet. Other update on this, there was the grant request from Mrs. Stone for the Spartans. I have in big letters here marked canceled. She got enough donations from the parents before we were able to connect things. I think our emails from the AUGS boosters were going to her junk mailbox or something, because she said she wasn't getting them.
Oh.
So, some things were going back and forth, but when I emailed her directly from my personal, she got those emails. So, she was very thankful for it, but basically said it was already covered, so we don't have to worry about this part as far as our budget and what we've committed to, for it. But again, this is a great reminder, we have this program where we have these grants that we can help you, help the teachers and staff members fund different things that they need to fund just by submitting a grant request. So that's still out there, and we still have funds in the budget that we've allocated for this. The other one, and Mr. Caney is here tonight with us, we talked about the stickers for the 8th grade class, and we said we were going to do those. Those aren't really needed until the end of the year, so I've kind of sat on them waiting for a sale. Still kind of doing that. But if I don't see anything here soon, I'm just gonna order them up and then we'll have them in. But I figured in November, ordering them, they're just gonna sit in a box for now. So we'll still do this one. We talked about actually ordering more and doing enough, taking advantage of volume pricing and do stickers for the next couple class years for this, because it'll get a lot cheaper if we do that. So that's grant requests. Another one that we've had out there is water. That was something that we've fulfilled. I think Mr. Caney submitted that last month, and we supplied initially 10 cases of water on February 3rd. So that was the day after our last meeting. We went out, got 10 cases, delivered them. Then we heard that they were running short of them again at the end of the month, like around the 23rd. So we went out and got another 12 cases of water. So far this month, in February, well, not this month, last month, I guess, we spent $81.60 on water. Not a huge amount of money. I mean, it adds up, but not crazy. When you think about that's 22 cases or 990 bottles. However, if you look at that first run where we had 10 cases of water, and you subtract it by the number of school days between the 3rd and the 23rd, that's 20 days total, but it's less school days than that. Averages is about 45 plus bottles of water a day. So that gives us an idea of how much is being consumed by people not bringing bottles of water. So happy to continue to help supply water, because I don't want anyone to go thirsty or whatever it is. However, I think we do want to pull together, and we've talked about this, I just haven't had the time to do it yet. It's kind of pull together some of these numbers and start publishing them on our Facebook group and kind of saying, hey, do you know how many bottles of water they're going through a day and whatever? Please send your kid with a refillable water bottle to school. So hopefully that maybe can cut down on those numbers a little bit for the waste and whatnot on that, more than anything.
We recently had discussions that the regular drinking fountains might be opened back up
Okay.
in the near future, so that might alleviate the need for this, so I'll keep you posted on it.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, I don't think anybody here is opposed to providing the water if it's needed and whatever, but it is a little shocking when you think about how many bottles of water we're going through, and especially considering I'm sure some of that is just a matter of not bringing it, probably repeat business is my guess in some of these cases. All right, deep dives. So we're gonna talk about Warrior Nights. So we've had a bunch of them so far. We did a survey. There was a survey that went out to parents after the last Warrior Night that was kind of talking about mostly that specific Warrior Night. But Mr. Caney was nice enough to let us send out or make available a survey to students that they could fill out during success through a Google form. And we had, let me look back at my numbers, it wasn't tons, but I think we had 41 students respond to the survey. And we were able to get some interesting feedback and whatnot with that. We do have some events coming up. We've got the Chicago Bulls event. I've got that one in white because ticket orders are passed for that, so we had to finalize that on Monday. So we could finalize it yesterday to get the tickets ordered, and that's all set to go. We do have upcoming Warrior Nights on campus on March 11th, April 8th, and May 13th. So those are our next upcoming Warrior Nights here at AUGS, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But one of the things we asked students was, what are other things that you would like to do off campus? And the top things in order of the highest percentage points were trampoline park, arcade, action territory, roller skate, bowling, and movie. Those were all above 40%. There were some other ones that were lower, but those were some of the bigger ones. Now, if we want to try to fill some of these in March, April, and May with other items like this, we totally can. However, just knowing that we're coming into baseball season, we're coming into a lot of things, people are gonna get busier, especially with graduation and end of year activities and things like that. It gets a little tougher to find dates. So the question is, do we wanna try and schedule 1, 2, 3, I don't know, more off-campus events yet this season, this year?
I could see one maybe in April. I mean, we have two like, you know, one on campus, one off campus
Mhm.
this month already, and May's just gonna get too crazy, I think.
Yeah.
But
I
maybe
tend to
have one in
agree.
April.
All right. So being April, weather can be good or it could be dicey. Any of these stand out? Do we want to try a trampoline park? I know we talked about the trampoline park, but I don't know, has anyone contacted anyone? Julia was always really good about doing that, so I'll admit, I made no phone calls to anyone. So,
I didn't either.
I did,
didn't
the trampoline park I can book, they just need 30 days out.
okay, 30 days out, and we need to know how many people 30 days out?
No, I just need to book it 30 days out.
Okay.
To set the date.
All right, well, let's, I mean, if we wanna do that, that was the most requested one. We would just need to pick a date, and then, date and time, and then figure out when to do it, and then promote it. I mean, 30 days is great, because that gives us enough time to promote it, too.
Right.
So, I'm totally cool with that, but,
Do they still offer, like, I know when it was the old ownership, because we're talking about launch, right, to do it there? I'm
This
assuming?
was the one in Vernon Hills.
Oh, it was,
Sky
oh,
Zone.
okay, okay. I can't remember if
is
that
that
one.
jump
did it.
zone? No.
Sky
Yeah,
Zone.
Sky
Zone.
Yeah, that one's more fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they do it. I know Launch would do like a nighttime thing where it was more cosmic or something, and I just didn't know if Sky Zone did anything like that.
They do have the glow one.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they wouldn't, allow us to come like on a Friday or Saturday, cause those are their premium nights, but we could do like a Thursday or a Sunday morning or something like that.
Okay.
The other one I thought about calling just to check is X Factor, it's in Mundelein, but, they're a little bit slower. If we did wanna try like a Friday night,
Mhm.
cause they have a DJ.
Mm.
So, I mean, I can call and do both, and then I can just, send you guys a group chat.
All right, yeah, why don't we cover that offline? We'll
Yep.
settle on, let's try to do one of the trampoline park thing,
Okay.
or whatever you wanna call those places, I don't know what the right word is.
Okay.
But,
And
and we'll look at doing that in April,
Okay,
maybe later in April,
yeah, cause we have
Mhm.
April 8th.
you know, maybe after Easter or something, I don't know. All right, cool. Then the other question came up, and this was out of the mouth of, I believe, my son last night, was, were you gonna do any events over the summer? So that's something for us to consider as well. I know, there was a lot of positive feedback for the back-to-school pool party.
Yes, and I asked if we were gonna do another one.
I think we should.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
I got asked
that-
that too.
That's my gut, and we can start looking at dates and reserve whatever and start doing it. And we can do better than what we did last time. It's just,
Absolutely.
you know, that was our first thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
we definitely should look at that and do that. But, you know, maybe it makes sense to do something else. You know, another thing that came up on there, and it wasn't popular, but somebody made the suggestion, is doing something with Six Flags. Now, I don't know that we would do an organized, like, hey, we're gonna do an outing to Six Flags this day or whatever. Maybe we would, but I don't know if they do any group sales. Kind of like the Wolves do the group sales, where you can just get like a discount or whatever, and fundraising or whatnot. I don't know.
I had looked into it.
Uh-huh.
I know that they are going more towards like a food pass. They want us to pay for like food along with
Okay.
admission. That was during, when they had a lot of COVID restrictions also.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's different, but I'd be glad to look into it now.
If you could look into it, that would be great, because that might be a fun one for the summer,
Yeah,
you know?
even just a quick meetup.
You know what would be super
Discounted
cool too
tickets.
is, that park in, Bristol, that zip lining,
Didn't you do that?
Oh,
Park.
yes, yeah, I did do
Boundless
that.
Adventures?
Yes.
Or something, okay.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah,
That
that
would
was
be
fun.
super fun. I don't know if they would give big discounts because it's a government entity, but just to have an outing,
Mhm.
I mean, my kids love it. I say kids, I take other kids.
It might be nice just to have stuff like that, that keep
Just plain.
kids connected a little
Yes,
bit over the
yeah.
summer,
Right.
you know?
Right.
It's not like a money-making type of thing, it's just to get them together, yeah.
Mhm.
I can look into that one if you want.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Because that's a 4-hour thing. I know they have summer school in the morning, or summer camp.
Yeah,
You know, the tough part is gonna be, how do we get the word out to everyone about this stuff? So my thought is, if we can lock down some of these dates and some of these summer things before the school year is up,
Mhm.
we can, and maybe that's a point where we go back to flyers and we give a flyer out to every student, say, bring this home. Here's a
Right.
summer of fun,
Right.
you know, to do,
Yeah.
and some things to do.
yeah.
And we could do that for it.
No, we had talked at one time in, like, maybe kind of right after school let out, doing something like a picnic with maybe,
Mhm.
carnival type stuff. Is that something we still wanna do, or it just gets too busy for people?
I thought a lot about that, and I thought, just in my opinion, I'd rather see us put so much more effort into the back to school, because
Yeah.
there's so many end of school activities that the school is doing even,
Mhm.
with like celebration for sixth graders, eighth graders.
Right.
If we were going to, I don't know, I was on the fence. I
Yeah.
kinda
No, I
thought
mean, I hear you.
Unless
there
we
was so
made
much
it like
more.
sometime in June after school's out, and we did it as kind of like a celebration of the school year or whatever,
Mhm.
then maybe I would do it, but I tend to agree with you. I
Yeah.
was thinking about,
Yeah.
like this, I was thinking about it when I was seeing all the different things the eighth grade was doing. I'm like, wow, we're running kind of out of dates there. And then I got an email, I mean, it's not quite nearly as much, but like the sixth graders have their stuff going on as well. And I'm like, well, they're gonna be busy as well. And then, like I said,
There's
you know,
graduations every.
there's graduations,
Yeah.
people have high schoolers and
Yeah.
college
I think it's
kids
more
and
like-
things like that. It all gets a little crazy, and then you start running into summer vacations
Right.
too.
Right.
So, yeah, I think maybe, why don't we think about, with the carnival part, what if we added some of those kind of aspects to the back-to-school pool
Right.
party?
Yeah.
And
That's
the
what I
other
was
thing
thinking.
that you could do is you could ask Barbara, when she does the carnival in
Mhm.
the summer, for Taste of Summer, you could have an AUGS booth.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
And I know she would let you do that, and you could have a meet and greet, maybe do AUGS, those rubber bands or something.
Mhm.
Just do something fun like that,
They did ask us last year to sell wristbands,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that
but
would be
it was
fun.
pretty last minute, so
Right.
we
And we
couldn't.
were just forming as a group.
We didn't have enough volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I don't know if getting better with volunteers though, so,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So who knows? That could be something we could look at as well.
Catherine says, I agree, Melissa, leave it for the beginning of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we'll make that bigger and better.
Bigger, and we can have a little more fun with it. I think we can take some of the same things that we were talking about doing for that, but go from there. So I say, get past this meeting, then let's start talking about that more in April and start really putting the planning down for it. So if you're interested in being a part of planning for this back-to-school pool party or whatever, let us know, let any one of us know, make a comment on this thread or send us an email, and we'll make sure that you're involved with the planning of it. So,
We can even include the incoming sixth graders
yes.
at that point.
Well,
as a
we had talked
suggestion.
about incoming sixth graders, and this is something that I'll look at Mr. Caney while I'm saying this. We talked about, for our last Warrior Night, inviting them, incoming fifth graders, fifth graders, incoming sixth graders,
We've done that in the past,
yeah,
have the fifth graders come over and.
so,
Extend the invite.
yeah.
That'd be
So,
cool.
we'll kind of see how that develops with this next coming Warrior Night, and then maybe the April one, and make sure crowd control is okay and everything like that, to see exactly how it is. But we'll make a decision in April about that, I think. But I think it's a great idea.
Becky's gonna call you, she has something she wants to say.
Okay.
Okay.
Becky has something she wants
All right.
to say to this.
Can we get the hotline sponsored?
I know.
This would be great. ABC Plumbing, hotline.
She didn't call. I'm
She's
gonna
not
call her real
calling?
quick.
You might need to call her. I don't
Oh,
know.
she just texted, can you please call me and put me on speaker?
Yeah, I think she's. She's like me.
That's all right, be loud, otherwise they won't hear it over there.
Hello, Becky.
Yes, ma'am.
You are live.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Did you have a question or a comment?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, no, I can barely hear you guys on my computer, so I'm trying to better hear you guys.
Okay.
gotcha, okay, got it. All right, so we're gonna move on then.
Gotcha.
All right, so Warrior Night, Erica already kind of talked about this a little bit. We had roughly, I don't know the exact count, but by my estimates, we counted like 130 people through the admissions, through the cash that we had there. And we had like another 30-some people that pre-sale, I think it was like 31, 32, something like that. So roughly, we had about 160, maybe a little bit more than that, come through for the last Warrior Night, which was great. A lot of positive feedback, but there were definitely some things that we talked about. We met as a group to kind of talk about what we could do to address some of the things that we thought needed to be changed for the next time around, and some of the things that we got back on the surveys. A lot of the things that kind of went into play, there were a few things that kept people from coming. And one was they didn't either know about it or they had a schedule conflict. Not much we can do about schedule conflicts. It's, people are busy. But on the student side, some people said they didn't know other students that were going. So that's something we can talk about as well. But we're addressing, about people that didn't know about it, and we're looking at different ways of promoting it a little bit more and getting it out there. And let's see, what was some of the other stuff? I don't know, there's a lot of other things we asked questions about. But those were some of the main sticking points from it. So we've got some things to talk about here. But before we dive into that 100%, we talked a little bit about the Wolves game. That's this Saturday. Ticket orders were due on Monday. So we sold 45 tickets for that, and 31 food vouchers. We did not add any upcharge to the food vouchers. We just didn't think that was right. There was a small amount of the tickets sold that we get back, and we raised $225 for that. So not a huge turnout, but it is further away. It's a little bit harder to commit. There were a lot of people that said, oh, I wish this was another night. I had at least a dozen, if not more, people tell me that. So might be something, even though maybe it's not our biggest one, might be something we try again next year. And I think there was still some uncertainty with COVID mitigations and things like that. Up until last week, it was, you had to be vaccinated and to even get in and show proof of vaccination and whatever, and now it's no proof of vaccination, no masks required, as things have changed. So that might have changed things a little bit there. It's actually a really good value, though. You get your ticket to the game and a hat for that $20, so everybody gets that. So it should be a good time. So looking forward to seeing a bunch of friendly AUGS faces out there as well. We'll have recognition up on the matrix board and all that kind of stuff. And if I remember correctly, I think they're giving us a jersey to auction off, or to use as a raffle or whatever we want to use for it. So that's what they said. So, but that might have been when I was talking about, well, we normally average 100 people for these events, so who knows how it changes or whatever. But I'll report back on that after, and we can figure out how we want to use that jersey. All right, so our next Warrior Night, though, is Friday, March 11th. So we've adjusted the dates, or the times on this a little bit. Is that right? 6:30 to 9?
No,
No, it's 6:30 to 8:30.
Yeah.
I gotta check, because I don't know if I grabbed an old one or what, but I thought I had changed that. But the time is 6:30 to 8:30 now, so we are ending it like a half hour earlier than we had before. We just found that that last half hour we use to kind of move people out and whatever. It just makes sense that we just kind of trim it off a little bit and make it a little easier. I think that 2.5 hours was maybe a little long. 2 hours, I think, is a better timing for it. We also did change things a little bit. We're keeping the price for advanced sales at $5, but we actually upped our price a little bit in the door price to $7. Now, so there is a better advantage to more than just $1 than walking up and saying, here's my money. But there's another advantage to this. When we have people enter in, basically, if you've pre-bought your thing, you just come in, say my name's on the list, you get a hand stamp, you get to go in. If you haven't, you gotta fill out a form, you gotta get all this stuff, so we're gonna have 2 different entries. So basically, by paying in advance, you get the fast pass to get in. So think about it in those terms. If you wanna get in, you don't wanna be standing in a big long line, pay the $5 in advance, come on in, we'll get you through faster. $7 at the door, it's gonna be a little bit slower because we need to record everybody's name and phone number and get that stuff into the process, and plus making change and everything, it just takes longer. So my advice, you wanna come, you wanna enjoy that whole 2 hours, make sure you pay in advance and come on through. All right, so we talked about the cost for that. The things that we're gonna have for, and I had this as ideas because this is kind of a slide we've used on and off over the last couple months talking about this. But the activities we're gonna have is we're gonna have music, we'll run some of the Kahoots again, we'll have bags, ping pong, we'll have 3 tables this time because I didn't know we had a 3rd table, I thought we only had 2. So we'll have another one going for that. We'll have our concessions, we'll talk a little bit about that. We also are gonna have a photo booth, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But we have that going on. We're also going to organize some volleyball, right?
I'm hoping so,
Okay,
yes.
that's the plan, is we're gonna try to organize some volleyball on at least one side of the gym, I would think, is how we would do that. And then we'll have some other games as well. I think we had like the giant Jenga last time and some other things like that. We'll do our best to provide more games, because that was one of the feedback that we had, is that people had to wait in line. Unfortunately, we're not gonna have a 1-to-1 ratio for every game and things like that. People are just gonna have to wait in line and be patient and whatever, but we'll do better about trying to time things out and make things move through so that everybody gets an opportunity to do some of these different things. But we are adding different things that we can do to help do this, and we're gonna build this until we get that right ratio and everybody's happy and doing what they want. But I will be honest, one of the things I saw a lot of people doing that most was just hanging out with friends, talking, being kids, and that was the cool part about Warrior Night, at least for me as somebody who was there. Always, we have a volunteer list out there to help us find help for setting up, cleanup, chaperones. We want to make sure we can get some more chaperones for this. Those are people that can help us just wander and manage what's going on, beyond the people that we have selling concessions and doing things and taking tickets and those kinds of things. We have that sign up out there. Check our website, it's out there, it's on our Facebook group. Maybe we can post about that again to go on there. It's also a great opportunity for student volunteers. And when I say student volunteers, obviously college kids are fantastic. High school kids are welcome to help us out with a lot of these things. Even some of our AUGS students that need service hours for like NJHS or any of your other clubs, you can come and help set up and clean up, and get those volunteer hours you have, and then you get into the event for free. How cool is that? You don't even have to pay to come in. If you do set up and or clean up, just come on right in. You get to come in for free. If people are really hard up for service hours in NJHS or something like that, I'd be willing to look at having them help at concessions. Maybe not taking the money or whatever, but helping out with that as well. We'd be welcome to do that, but I really would like to make sure that students have the opportunity, if they're going to help out, that they have the opportunity to come and enjoy the event as well. So they're not tied to volunteering the whole time. But if somebody has a special case and is like, I really need my service hours filled up, come to us, we'll work with you, we'll figure it out. So a couple other things out there. Obviously, since we have a third ping pong table and whatever, I'll need to get another set of net, or another net and another set of ping pong paddles for us. We talked about getting hand stamp for this, and so we can talk a little bit about those. I know I created an Amazon wish list and sent it to the board to say, hey, what do you think about these? So I think we just need to figure out what we want to do and order it. Yeah. I even talked about getting some like little egg timer type things that we could use for like the ping pong table or whatever, that somebody can be monitoring and checking that out. Concerns, these are just things that are always out there. Obviously volunteers, so getting more volunteers is great. Traffic, the Lake County Auxiliary Sheriffs did a fantastic job with us, and they're wonderful. They're just a little slow to respond to some of our emails and stuff. It's kind of like 2 days before I hadn't gotten 100%. They're, oh yeah, we're all set. We're gonna have this many people and whatever, but didn't let me know. Last week I asked them, I'm like, are we all set for the other dates that you had me submit? 'Cause I submitted all the dates at once, and I haven't heard back yet. So I'll keep following up with them. I'm sure we're good, but it's just, yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, exactly. So the games I talked about, maybe providing some more games. There were some other things on there that I added some games to that I thought, oh look, we could buy this for $24 and we'd have it. It's like a big inflatable dodgeball type thing that you play with cards or whatever. Pretty popular with kids, if you've ever heard of throw burrito.
Yeah.
But they have a big inflatable one. So instead of throwing these little burritos, they're big ones. So it's easier to track than, oh, where did the burrito go behind the bleachers or whatever it is, or get lost and whatever. So I thought that might be worthwhile. If there's other things like that people have ideas for, or if you want to volunteer to donate a game for that night that we can use or whatever, please let us know. We're happy to have all of that to do that. Check-in, I've actually already created a Google form that we'll have with a QR code. We'll have signs by the door for the people that are coming in paying cash. That say, hey, you need to have your cash and you need to show us the confirmation from the Google form saying that, and that's how we'll let you in. Obviously, people that paid in advance, you don't have to do the Google form because we already have all your information. So that's great. Awareness was something that we had out there. People talked about, well, there was no flyers and this, and then we hear back, well, the flyers just end up on the floor and they don't even come home via our students, or they're crumpled up in the bottom of a backpack, lots of things like that. So we're gonna try something a little different. And so we talked to Mr. Caney. Mr. Caney is going to let us put a banner out next week, and it's gonna say Warrior Night this Friday. So we'll have that for every Warrior Night that we're gonna do. Warrior Night this Friday. Basically, just know that this is out there, and then our website on the bottom where they can get more details on that. We also produced 2 smaller banners, and I say smaller, they're 4 foot by 2 foot, so they're that big, whatever, that we can maybe put in some high traffic areas up on the wall, and we can reuse them. So we have those. I have them in-house already. I'm hoping maybe on Friday I can come in and hang those up. So Mr. Caney, if you have ideas on where to put those 2 banners for the inside, I'd like to hang those on Friday after school so that they're ready for Monday morning, and then over the weekend I'll come and I'll put the ones out front in the lawn. So maybe when it's nice and 59 degrees, the soil will warm up a little bit and I can get the stakes in the ground a little bit easier for that. And then food, and I know we had talks about this with concessions, so we can talk about that now, or do you want me to kind of finish going through things or talk about it now? Because one of the things that came up, and a few people said this, is anything but pizza. However, everybody loved pizza at the same time of the kids that took the survey, but we had some people say, I'd like an option other than pizza. So as a group, one thing that we talked about was maybe hot dogs. Something that we could do relatively easy. Is that something we wanna try and maybe do it in a limited number?
Becky said nachos possibly also.
That was on the survey too.
Okay.
I thought we could
Hot
easily
dogs?
do that with chips and then just some warm cheese.
Yeah, I've got smaller crock pots that we, for cheese
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I even wondered, I wonder how much one of those like nacho cheese pumps that just goes on the can, and put a crock pot with hot water in there, let it sit, and then you can just squeeze it out.
I think we have a cheese machine
Ooh.
in the back.
You just buy the bag, right? The bag to refill it. They have
We
those
can
at
check
Sam's Club.
after
Okay.
the meeting if you want.
Okay.
Some will take a bag, some take a can, most take a bag though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That would be perfect.
See, I don't know much
Pretty
about
sure
nacho
I
cheese.
saw one back there, but it's been a while.
Okay.
I
And
know,
we're okay using that without having any, like, kitchen staff? I know sometimes it gets a little tricky about making
So
sure.
I think nachos were safe, I know when you start cooking food, that's
Yeah.
where, and cooking hot dogs is a hot dog, but
Well, and we could have that done pretty much ahead of time, and just like in
Yeah.
crock pots or whatever, so we're
Yeah.
just having it plugged in, so. But I think nachos would go over very well.
yeah, I think that would be a huge hit. At the baseball park, they have it's just a little kit, it's the chips and the cheese, and then we separate it, and we
Mhm.
put the cheese in, just a warming oven.
Mhm.
And then when the kids come up, we just serve it, and they open the cheese.
the cheese is like in like a snack pack thing,
Yes.
like a
Mhm.
Yeah.
pack
Yes.
almost.
I don't
So-
know where they get it.
Yeah, I don't either, so that would be whatever we could
Chip
find,
Sam's.
you know.
Yeah,
Either that, or we'd have to like pre-fill and then keep them in a warming type thing,
Yeah.
you know, like the little
mhm,
condiment cups or
Yeah.
something.
so
Yeah.
if they, if you guys have it, that's
I think we
great,
have one.
All right,
but if not,
So do we wanna do
Maybe go
both?
that route with like the cheese prepackaged.
I'd say
Right.
do one or the other.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we're gonna have, because I think pizza, we keep pizza, because even
Yeah.
though they said, obviously, we sold a lot of pizza.
Yeah.
And people rated it very high on the survey, so I say, still have some pizza, but then have that. The one thing that's really nice about the chips is if we get corn chips, that's gluten-free,
Right.
right?
yep,
I think it's
Whereas
easier.
hot dog bun is not gluten-free.
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah.
But we can
So-
serve it without the bun.
We can. So,
I think it's less work to do,
Yes.
because there's not as many things to put, if it's chips and the cheese, unless we're gonna have
Right.
like jalapenos with it, when you gotta put the hot dog in the bun, get their ketchup, get their mustard, cause I don't want anybody touching that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. So it would, for ease, I would say the nachos.
let's try it. I say let's try the nacho thing, especially if there is a cheese pump
Right.
that we can use.
You keep
And
it
let's
that
just
way.
try that and
Yeah,
see how
cheese
it goes.
that we can
We'll do
use.
another survey after the event and see what people say.
There might
Do
be a
we
cheese
have to
pump
get
that we
the-
can use here at the school, so
do
then
we
we
the
just get
ketchup-
like the bag
can we
of cheese
just
from
get
Sam's.
A bottle of ketchup in
And
those,
put
or
it
does
in
it
the,
have to
you know,
be?
it's like one of those little machines that you plug in.
If we're serving it, I would think we could have ketchup
can
and
have
mustard.
Yeah.
The bottles, it's, you know, if you're anything like my
Like a
kid,
little
it's
check.
like half the bottle for one.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
After
I
the
think you're just
meal.
talking about waste and then messes and things like that, if you let them make their own or whatever. But if we're dressing it, that's a little bit different, but then you need more people
Yeah.
to handle that as well.
Right.
So I think hot dogs is a good option, but I say, let's try the nachos, see where it goes.
See how we do again with volunteers,
Mhm.
and then we can add on more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that we talked about that was asked about several times was ice cream. And I don't think we would do like, hand scoop ice cream or anything like that, but we were talking like novelties, ice cream sandwiches, things like that we could get. I did ask Mr. Caney about, if they had like a freezer cart type thing. It doesn't sound like they have that, but what we could do is use the deep freezer if we're really careful about it, making sure it's shut and all that kind of stuff, the triple check. And we also want to make sure that there's no Bobby Brady's where he gets locked in the freezer over the weekend at Sam's Meat Market. But for anyone who's old enough to remember that, but we could do that and run it out to coolers or whatever as we need be.
Or just not
for
bring
those
it out
different things.
until a certain time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then serve
Maybe
it.
we have that at the last hour or something like that. So that's something we could leverage as well if we wanted to do that. The decision's ours, I think, as far as what we wanna try. And I'm also okay saying, listen, just buy some, see how it goes, and if we sell out, well, we know next time we can do more,
Mhm.
And I think we should do some. I have to see what, like, Sam's has available online. They didn't have a whole lot, so I don't know if they have more in the store.
They used to, but I haven't been looking for that kind of
Yeah, I
stuff
haven't- I
lately,
didn't
so
look over there, so.
you never know. In this day and age, sometimes you go to the store, they have it, and the next time you go, they don't have it,
Yeah.
so. you
So
know.
I'll check sooner, just so I kind of have an idea, but obviously I don't have enough room in my freezer to store a bunch of stuff, so I buy.
That'll
that
need to be
like
like a day
before.
of or something
Yeah, or
that
a
we'll
day
need to
of,
go
yeah.
get, yeah. And if you need help like day of or whatever, I can always go make a run and grab some too, so.
Yeah, I
Um,
can help you too.
But it would almost need to be like night of, unless it's really cold, because I
Yeah,
don't know how we.
and that's gonna get.
I do have a chest
crazy.
freezer in the basement, I just don't know how much room I have in there.
That's the
It's a
problem.
Smaller one,
If we know, like a month in advance, I could deplete,
yeah.
we could all deplete our
Yeah.
freezer.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got
Oh.
3 freezers all in, but they're pretty much
We got-
full.
Mine too.
A week and 3 days.
Yeah.
Start working.
It's not gonna happen.
Start depressing.
So, all right.
COVID did that.
So that's the main stuff for that one. I wanted to cover though briefly photo booth. So this is a photo booth that we're having. This is somebody that we are renting this photo booth out, and the woman that we're renting it from will be here to help us run the photo booth. Everybody that comes that has an admission ticket will get one opportunity to go in the photo booth. So with your ticket, you get your hand stamped, and we're gonna give you a little like raffle ticket. And they're gonna say, all right, here's your raffle ticket, don't lose it, turn it in, because otherwise this is it. But everybody gets one opportunity for it, instead of just making it free for the night, because it's gonna be a free-for-all if we do that. I think somebody here said that, like, oh my gosh, that poor lady's gonna be nuts if we just leave it free. So we decided we would say, everybody gets one opportunity to go through, and if you want additional opportunities to go through, then you do the ticket. Now, that being said, I was thinking about this tonight. If Sally wants to go through with Mike, and they wanna go through the photo booth, that's one ticket.
Yep,
They could go through a second time with Mike's ticket.
yep, absolutely.
So, if a group of 5 girls wanted to go through, they could go through 5 times, because they've got 5 different tickets. However, everyone that goes through will get one of these little strips, but the white boxes will be photos. So it's a nice little thing, everybody will get those through, and then she gives us the photos. We can make them available to people to download, so they can put them on their Insta or their Snapchat or whatever they wanna do. Those pictures are out there available as well. So it's a really cool, it's an inflatable booth that changes colors. It's a really cool little setup, so.
I'm really
Becky
excited
had-
about that. I think that's awesome.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
really, really exciting. Becky has a quick question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what happens if somebody comes up and says, oh, I bought one, but I lost it?
No
That's too bad.
refunds.
No, that's why we said, you gotta hold on to it.
Responsibility is
Yeah,
key,
exactly.
Yeah.
and they'll learn it the hard way then.
Yeah.
Then they'll have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now-
unfortunately, that's all we can do, because there's gonna be somebody that's gonna try to scam us with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
So if 5 people go through, all 5 will get the sheet of, or they'll get 1 per, because I don't, like, that gets to be a lot if
I think it's 1 per.
in paper.
I think it's 1 per.
Each student gets a sheet.
Well,
If,
she'll
you know, if they
figure
go
that
through.
out. That's not our issue.
I don't remember how it
Maybe,
works. We
right.
had her when we did an event at Petty a few years ago, and I don't remember how that worked out. I think it's per time going through, you get a sheet,
Right.
so.
I mean,
That
that
would
makes sense,
make
but then
sense.
they've gotta know that if they take 5 people in, they're only gonna get 1 sheet,
Unless they
right?
surrender up 5 tickets, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so.
I don't.
Yeah,
wanna
no, that's a good
One
point.
ticket
That's a
equals
good
one
point.
sheet.
So we'll definitely need some volunteers. The way that I wanted to set this up is we had some mess up on the stage in the cafeteria. My thought was, put this up on the stage in the cafeteria, dim the lights back there a little bit, and then we've got the 2 ramps. One ramp goes up,
That's
one
very
ramp
good.
goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
And then it keeps the food mess that we
Yeah.
had up on the stage, I
That's
think, in
perfect.
bay, because we can keep people off there a little bit better.
And
So.
this is gonna be great memories for them.
It is. So, also, she is available on April 8th and May 13th. So I'm just thinking, book her for
Yeah.
all the dates for the rest of the year. We'll see how it goes and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all right, cool.
It might be good for the 8th grade dinner dance.
I've asked about that. Her husband is also a DJ.
Yeah,
So I have rates on that.
that's awesome.
So, good stuff. All right, so that's Warrior Night. Then the topic of, did we want to do something? We only have 15 minutes, so we've got to be relatively quick on this. The topic of March staff appreciation came up, and we were kind of toying with some ideas. I think we all kind of agreed this would kind of be something fun to do this month to lift some spirits, and we're in a new trimester and whatever, and March can be kind of maddening, as it is. After hearing about the sixth grade, end of trimester, presentations the other day, maybe the sixth graders, staff especially, and some of the other staff could use a little bit of a pick-me-up. So, that being said, some of the theme ideas that I think came to mind, if anyone has another idea, just throw it out there. Maybe play on Luck of the Irish. March Madness is a common one, out there. Spring break, let's give them some kind of a break or something like that. When do we do it? I mean, obviously, if we did Luck of the Irish, maybe we want to plan it around St. Patrick's Day. If it's spring break, maybe we want to do it that last week before we go on spring break. March Madness can kind of be any time. So that's kind of when. But some of the ideas, like if we did Luck of the Irish, the idea was maybe do something where we have a pot of gold scavenger hunt, and then whoever finds the pot of gold gets a gift card, and so we make it available that way, or we have multiple, I don't know. But we could do some stuff with gold coins and have some little hints or whatever, and maybe we do it that whole week, I don't know. But whatever we want to do with that. Lottery tickets, I think, was an option in there, or kind of like a scratch off or something like that. We could make some of that stuff
We
available.
did that one time at Oakland, where
Yeah.
each staff member got a lottery ticket.
So, and maybe they go together. I don't know. Other things like that, but just other ideas out there to create a little fun and just show that we're thinking about them. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, because we haven't done anything since the after break breakfast, right?
Well, we did the after break breakfast and then we did Kleenex.
Oh, the Kleenex.
We did the Kleenex. Yep.
We've
So-
been actually doing something almost every month.
Yeah.
So it's been,
Yeah, earlier in the school year, I think we did the big welcome back thing where we had the little kits, and then I think September we kind of tailed off, but then I don't know, October, November, something like that, we picked it up again.
we did
and-
the conference.
and whatever. So
That was November.
yeah,
Yeah, November,
Yeah.
so we missed October.
so that's all right. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
So I think that they're good ideas. I'm not tied to any single one. So if anyone else has an idea, I think.
I'm not, tied either way. I have
Yeah.
ideas for any of them.
I'm just happy if we do something. I like the pot of gold scavenger hunt.
I like that idea.
All right.
Not
let's-
sure how you would coordinate that.
Or when would they take time to do it?
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on that?
Didn't really have any just yet. I haven't thought that far. Come on. So I would say maybe every day in the staff lounge we put a hint, and maybe we could do this every day. We post a different hint, and then it leads to the final destination. Where it's going to be on the last day of the week or something like that, leading up to that, and then we put it out there.
I kind of like the idea of everybody getting something though, rather
Well,
than
we
just.
could do that for
Yeah, we could do
part
that.
of it as kind of a big thing, and then we could still do the little lottery tickets, and everybody
Right.
gets one of those in their mailbox too.
Right.
We could do that the other way, or have an actual pot of chocolate
Right.
coins that they can grab throughout the week
Right.
or whatever, and other candy or whatever, little pick-me-ups
Right.
for it as well. So we can tie a few different ways into it to make something fun
Yeah,
out
I
of
like
it.
that.
So.
I like that.
All right, so I think maybe the luck of the Irish is the way to go,
Yep.
and we can tie in some of these ideas together and kind of go from it. I guess probably should carve out a budget and then see what we wanna do for it.
And then take it offline so they're surprised.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
All right, if you wanna be involved in the planning for this, make a comment, let us know.
Yep.
We're happy to have you help out, or if you have this wonderful idea that you wanna do, let us know, we'll let you do it.
With help, of course.
All right, so the next part, we're gonna talk about staff appreciation and whatnot. So if you're a staff member, you don't wanna know, you can either plug your ears and go aye, or you can log off at this point in time. Thinking about staff appreciation week, it's like the first, which is a Sunday, so technically the 2nd through the 7th in May. So really, we're only gonna have one more meeting to talk about this before we need to do it. So I wanna make sure we start talking about it now. And Mr. Caney, you might wanna close your eyes, or close your ears, but Principal Appreciation Day is also May 1st, which is a Sunday. So, so he gets nothing.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't work on Sundays.
We can make some picnic tables that day.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, still sore from.
That was super fun though.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
It was team building.
Yeah, so one thing that I thought of with this, and I know we had talked about this, but I couldn't remember if any themes came up. So I kind of did a Google search and as I was pulling together the slide and, you know, I was looking at different themes or whatever, but one kind of stuck with me a little bit. And I thought it had some cool stuff to do with it. I thought it was pretty appropriate. It was kind of a superhero theme. Superheroes are popular these days. Obviously, Marvel is the #1 selling movie property of all time right now. So kids dig into it, you know, everybody kind of knows it a little bit. And I thought it was kind of telling, like, these teachers and staff and whatever, they're superheroes here. They really are. The things that they do, they go above and beyond. So let me just kind of talk about some of the things that I thought of with this. But, you know, we could tie this into some spirit activities. Maybe we have, you know, a spirit day where everybody wears superhero shirts. You know, we could also have dress like your teacher type day. We could maybe create a form or something like that that students can fill out, that what's your teacher's superpower? So they list their teacher and what's really cool about, you know, their teachers. I'm sure Mr. Rudd will be flannel man. But, you know, whatever it is out there, I thought we could have some fun things like that and get the kids involved with it too, because I don't want it just to be, hey, look at what the boosters are doing for you, but let's really play it up and try to get everybody involved with it. Obviously, food is a part of this, and normally we have some lunch and some breakfast and things like that. We could do a super lunch, so we could have like a soup bar or something like that, and salad. You know, maybe we do something for breakfast out there. You know, have a recharging station for them where we have snacks and things like that. You know, I saw some things out there where they, you know, folded red construction paper around like a candy bar and make it look like a cape, that we could have out there. I've seen notes where you could take off of, you know, Marvel being the #1 thing, use the logo and you're marvelous, you know, and have some fun with some of those things like that. Talking about nachos, if those were really popular, we could have nachos for them, and it could be nacho average teacher, you know, type thing, and just kind of play up some of that. So that was a theme that I had. Obviously, not set in stone, could be whatever, but I just thought it had some legs under it. Anyone else have any other ideas or thoughts for
This
it?
sounds great.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
superhero
Yeah.
idea.
Okay.
I
And we
love
could
the
even wear
superhero.
capes, like, you know,
I
like
still
the
have
capes.
mine.
I know.
There you go.
Yeah, we
Super
did
boosters.
superhero at Oakland,
Okay.
and we did superhero at Petty.
Yeah, I
Um,
think there's so much we can
yeah.
do with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we've done superhero quite a few times,
All right.
so.
Obviously, we're gonna need people to help us with staff appreciation, so please, volunteers, if anyone's out there, I'll even look in the camera. If you would like to help, please sign up and help us, because we could use some more brains for this. It's a week of different things and whatever, and so we could definitely use some more brain power and some help trying to pull it all off, whether it's actually helping out at the school, or if it's just in the planning and organizing or whatever it is, we're gonna need whatever help we can get with it. So, that being said, we know Mr. Kaney's not very super, so we don't have to worry about Principal Appreciation Day on May 1st. So, yeah, we won't even talk about that one anymore. So, he's laughing, he's getting my joke at least. So, all right, last thing I have on here is the 8th grade year-end activities. We met a couple weeks ago to talk about the Warrior Night, and when this came up, some topics came up about trying to raise some more funds, and what funds would the boosters commit to supporting the 8th grade end-of-year activities. There's some needs out there to pay for things like maybe if they need a DJ or food, things like that. There's some funds already available in there, but as boosters have always provided some money to help support the 8th grade end-of-year funds. One of them also is out there, besides just paying for things, is there are some students in need who are behind on some of their fees. And so if it's reasonable and we can work with the school to help address some of those cases where it's really needed, we can look at providing some funds also to help cover some students' fees so they can be involved in some of these things and don't get left out just because their family is struggling. So that's out there. When we were at the 8th grade meeting, my daughter's an 8th grader, some people had asked about, well, hey, can we donate money to help some of those families? So that got my wheels turning a little bit. And so what we did is, as the boosters, we created an opportunity or a place that people can go and donate money, and we said we would match up to $500 for it. We've hit that. So
Awesome.
as of today, we've had $550 in donations plus our $500 matching. That raises $1,050 for the 8th grade activities. I'm not going to turn it off. People want to keep donating, wonderful. But I will say, there was some people, chipped in $10, some people $20, some people $100. Lisa Fisher in the Antioch Traveling Closet donated $170 to the cause to help us get to that $500 goal. And then we got a few more that came in after that. So thank you to everyone. For those of you that don't know, Lisa Fisher now here works at AUGS now. So
Started this week.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
That's
So she
great.
moved over from Petty over to here. So you might be seeing her face around here a little bit more. But already I saw the donation came in and said thank you. For the ones I didn't send a thank you out to everybody who donated, but thank you, anyone who donated. If you haven't donated but still would like to, we're happy to have the donation, and we'll make sure it gets over to the 8th graders. I talked with Mr. Caney about this and how we can divvy up these funds and things like that. We'll make determinations as time goes on, but there's definitely ways that we can help the students that are in need and fund different things and whatever, but as we get the committees sorted out, we'll have that. So right now, that money is just parked, waiting for us for when we need to put it in. So I wanted to give you an update on that. And then open discussion. Anyone have anything else?
I actually do.
Okay.
Mr. Downing sent out something for all like the 6th grade Titans. They do a pie day, kind of with a lot of things, and they sent out asking the parents for like little prizes, dollar store prizes, whatever. So I didn't know if we wanted to. He didn't come specifically to ask. This was just an idea I had. If we, $50 or something to go towards that we could either buy like a little bit nicer things like $5 gift cards, or go to the dollar store and get $50 worth of whatever that they were looking for.
I'm okay with that. I have no problems with that.
Yeah,
And that's,
a great idea.
Yeah.
and that's something that I think we need to, the last time we addressed the staff and told them like, hey, we're the boosters, there's a spot for you here to get grants and whatever, was, I think, the first day back in August. I don't know if maybe we're a little late in the year to do that, but a reminder. I just feel like sometimes, like I've seen that with Mrs. Stone. She put out the email saying, hey, parents, can you donate this kind of stuff because we're trying to do this? And I'm like, Boosters has a thing where you can submit to get a grant to cover this kind of stuff. I'm not saying don't go to your parents and ask for this kind of stuff, but we have this. This is a resource you have. Just be aware of it. And so I've been trying to educate that a little bit more. Maybe there's a better way we need to do that. Maybe we need a little flyer that goes in each of the staff members thing. We can do it with the March thing and say, hey, look, remember, we're here. If you need funds to do something that you're gonna do.
Examples of some of the things.
Yeah, we can talk about, here's some of the grants that we've approved this year, and, you could submit a grant, who knows, that's your pot of gold, whatever it is.
I've celebrated a few of them during our Wednesday PD meetings.
Okay.
I had 3 teachers reach out to me this morning, or yesterday, about getting some PBIS rewards.
Uh-huh.
And I replied back that we have some things in the office that we could donate, like bracelets and water bottles, but I gave them the link to the grant thing, so hopefully they fill
Yeah.
that out.
So if you're a teacher, staff member, whatever, and you stayed on because you didn't want to be surprised in May, don't worry, we're not gonna throw any clowns at you, it's all right. But have that resource, look for it. It's on our website. There's a page for staff and there's a form. Just fill it out to the best of your ability. It starts the conversation. We will do what we can to try to help you. It's not our intention to say no to things. We want to say yes to things, but we'll work with you to try to make them happen. Obviously, we can't always work super fast. We may not have all the funds to do it or whatever, but we want to help you. And we do have funds that we can leverage for this. That's what we're here for. So please talk to us. I had that with Mrs. Mallon was asking for something like that in an email, and it was sent out to the parents. And I went back to her again and said, remember, boosters are here. We can help you do this. So I think it is a good idea to talk about those and refresh people's minds. Or maybe, you know what, maybe we need to have like a poster made that we hang up in the staff lounge.
Yeah.
Looking to do something? Come talk to us, and maybe we put a QR code that takes them right to the page or the form or something like that to make it easier. Joe, can the print services, can they do posters? All right, so maybe I can design up a poster. Are you okay if we were to make a poster to hang up in the in the staff lounge for that? All right, cool. And that could be something that stays there, you know. So, all right. The last thing I have is our next meeting is April 6th at 7 p.m. So that's just a couple days before the April Warrior Night, but we'll kind of touch base a little bit after this next one and whatever. I think we'll be better. I don't think we'll have as many hard changes as we did for this one. But being that said, next meeting is April 6th. Then our meeting after that is the first Monday in May, and that meeting is going to be elections. So if you're thinking about running or serving or wanting to get involved with boosters or have a definite need, be thinking about that. Right after spring break, I will make a nomination form out there that people can submit for that, so we can start getting information there. It's crazy to think that we're like getting towards the end of the year here, but time is going to go by, and it's going to go by fast.
Yeah.
So keep in mind that meeting in May will be out there right now. Everybody that's currently here is available to run again. No pressure. If you want to, choose to. I get the pluses and minuses of all of it. So Julie says, oh, Julie will be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that to me
So
every
there's going to
year.
be at least one more.
Yeah.
So, well, we can talk to some of Kyle's teachers and have things arranged. So, you know, I'm sure that can be worked out.
You did this to me before.
Yeah, I did
So-
this to you before, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh man, we're gonna miss Julie. So, that's being said, if you have any questions or anything, thoughts, concerns, please reach out to any one of us. We're happy to take them, and we hope to see you at some of these events.
Yeah.
So, thank you all. Look at that, 2 minutes late long. That's it.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Good. Nice meeting.
Great meeting.
Yeah,
I know. Me too.
yeah.
I'm really trying hard to send people on their way.
All right,
Thank you,
Becky's
everyone,
still
for
on the
attending.
line.